How's it going, everyone? Data here, and welcome back to our Detroit Red Wings franchise mode series here in NHL 26, moving into episode number 15 for the 2029 draft and off season. Before we get started about what happened in the last one, with this being the last upload, not the last video, we got one more live stream on the evening of the 23rd, but with this being the last upload before Christmas and likely the last of the 2025 calendar year, I just want to take a moment to say a big thank you for the year that has been 2025. I'll put out a post about the year-end stats and all that for the growth of the channel. It's been such a big year in my life as well, between my wedding and my new house and all that. So thank you for all the support throughout this year. I'm very excited for what's to come in 2026, and I'm wishing all of you the very best in the new year as well. Have a wonderful holiday season, a very Merry Christmas. Remember the reason for the season at this time of the year as well. And of course, spend lots of time with your friends, your family, your loved ones. Happiness and health into 2026, and looking forward to what the year will bring us. So now getting into what happened last episode, the lights were very bright in the 2029 postseason as we faced the Metropolitan Division winning Rangers in round one and got goalied against Igor Shesterkin and the Rangers, losing in a 5-game series. The Rangers went on to lose to the Islanders, who went on to win the Stanley Cup. So the team we just had control over in 2020 in NHL 25, at least they go on to win the Cup. That nice little consolation, I guess we could say. But yeah, we fell earlier than we thought we would as reigning Stanley Cup champions. There were definitely some positives. Axel Sandin Pellikka continues to grow, now an 86 overall, who put up 7 points in 5 games. Awesome. Lucas Raymond, a bit of a slow season, 6 points in 5 games. Great. Fyodorov, we put him up to the first line, 3 goals, 4 points in 5 games. Okay. But Larkin, 3 points, who led the team in scoring this season. Yes, 3 and 5 is okay, but just 1 goal. We needed more from our captain. John Carlson, 70 plus points on the year, 3 points, -4. Again, considering the point production, it wasn't horrible. And you look at the rest of the team, but we still just needed a little bit more. Casper, just 2 points. And after that, 1 point or less from everyone else. Radish, 1 point, -2. Cowan, 1 point, -3. Nothing from Edmondson, but he was injured. He only played a couple games. Ferraro, no points, -4. Sider, nothing. Fiala, nothing. Aho, nothing. Risanen, after a 33-goal season, nothing. Labushkin, Dower Nilsson, Sierra, all with zeros. Look at all the zeros here, the bottom half. My goodness. And for the goaltending, we had Trey Augustine go 1-3, 916 save percentage and 2.8 goals against average, as Jesper Wallstedt got injured in game 1, allowed 2 goals and 9 shots, then never played again. We went to Trey Augustine after that. He was okay, and we gave game 5 to John Gibson, who did very well. We were up 3-1 in the third, but then we collapsed, went to overtime, and lost 4-3. And we can't see his numbers right here because he's down in the AHL technically now, whatever, the game did stuff. But yeah, it just, the lights got too bright, the scoring dried up. But like I said earlier, we just got goalied. Igor Shesterkin got incredibly hot. We couldn't get by him, and that was our downfall. So now moving into the off-season, yes, we have a great young core here in Detroit, but a great young core with all these ELCs, these entry-level contracts, means that we have a ton of cap space. So moving into this next season, expiring contracts, Aho's going to need a deal as an RFA, but Kevin Fiala, we're trading his rights, he's walking, whatever, he's gone. Labushkin, 7th D, these guys down here, it's whatever. It's not going to be hard to get them done. So when we look at our extension dollars, we're talking $41.5 million. So Max Aho will get his contract. It'll be whatever it'll be. There's even been talk about potentially moving Max Aho, but regardless, we're talking like, 30 to 40 million in cap space. Now, the year after this one, we're going to have a lot of money ready to go because we're going to need contracts for, John Carlson will be expiring, so whoever is the top pair defenseman or top 4 defenseman, that's money to go there. Sandin Pellikka, Cowan, Risanen, Fyodorov, 4 big RFAs right there that will need money. So just those guys alone could get close to filling up 40 million, depending on how we go with the bridges and whatnot. But yeah, the money is not needed so much in 29-30, it's more in 30-31. So if we want to think about doing something crazy with a 1-year type of deal, like depending on what veteran might be there in free agency, this would be the year. However, the forward core is pretty stacked. 1, 2, 3 minus Fiala, 4 Casper, 5, 6 Radish Cowan. Just counting off forwards, for example, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12 in the system being Carter Bear or Sean Farrell, whatever. There are our 12 forwards. And then for the defense, same thing. If we look in the NHL, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Okay, Labushkin gone. Vico in, maybe in the system. And then Bernard Docker is 7th defenseman. Wieland can walk probably, or we can trade him. I don't know. He was a free agent guy, and he's actually been okay. And then Vico's going to be getting promoted this next season as well. Petrov's going to be a guy in the AHL is going to be pushing for ice time sooner rather than later. It's not like we're going to go out and sign a big, 8-year, 7-year contract in free agency for a massive name. Yes, we have a lot of money to spend, but we don't have a lot of roster spots, if any, and our flexibility vanishes after this next season. But it's here for now. How are we going to use it? That's what the AGMs had to talk about in the last one. So we'll start off the comments by looking at this one left by one of our channel members, Halo Creamy. Thank you, by the way, to our now 25 channel members to end off 2025. Their names are always rolling at the bottom of the screen somewhere in the video. Thank you so very much for them. A couple dollars per month, lots of perks for you both on YouTube and the Discord server. Consider joining if you haven't already, moving into 2026. Halo said, yikes, big surprise given our results last year. I still think it's the right move to give the young guys their opportunity. It almost guarantees our long-term success, which doesn't come without growing pains. So if we can call this last postseason growing pains after a Stanley Cup the year before, we'll be able to survive. Now, Halo Creamy is saying, my thought. Number 1, trade Fiala for a pick, done. Number 2, trade down in round 1 from pick number 23, since we have an influx of young elite talent. Grab a future pick, and then grab one of those medium top 6 forwards at the start of round 2. Also, there's a medium elite in round 4 or 5. Number 3, sign a vet like Crosby. There's also been talk of Tavares, Duchesne, etc. that sims well, if only for a year. I'll leave the lineup for cheating heel. I'll look at this comment coming up next, as I don't have the motivation. Third liner for scoring? And point number 4, the biggest question is, do we capitalize on John Carlson? His value will never be higher, and he's getting old. Could we sneak a top 5 pick out of Carlson, our first, and Carter Baird to move up? Unsure, as we don't know who's open to trading their pick. So I did do some research, and thank you for those thoughts, Halo Creamy. Picks number 4 and 7 are both on the block in the top 10. So are those teams that John Carlson was even open to going to? Not until July 1st. Right now he's a full no move clause. We can't move him now. 90 overall, 39 years old, but top 4 potential, so he will regress. I don't think we can move him right now, especially, like I said, with a no movement clause. But starting July 1st and moving into the preseason next episode, we can think about how is he regressing, how are other defensemen growing, etc., etc. But to move out a 70-plus point defenseman as a team going for another Stanley Cup, it would be hard to do that. Yes, we get a lot of value out of it, but then who's going to take his spot? It's something to consider. Now, Halo Creamy said, I'll leave some lineup thoughts for cheating heel. Let's go straight to cheating heel, saying, I guess the team paced itself a little bit too much. Yes, we sadly did, moving down the stretch. We really got goalied in round 1 to have that many 0-point players with the amount of shots that we were taking. I'd say we went against a red-hot goalie. That being said, my biggest disappointment is clearly Max Aho. After last year's playoff performance where he went point per game, to see him come back with an okay season and then nothing in the playoffs makes me wonder if last year was a fluke for him. He hasn't shown any indication that he could sustain that point per game type of production. Do we trade him for a more proven commodity? Also, asking for $8.5 million for what he did is crazy, and I wouldn't be comfortable giving him that kind of contract. At this time, talking about John Carlson, I would keep Carlson for his last year of the contract. The guy had 74 points, so he can still bring it, and it would mean that we do not have to rush Vico to play top minutes, also valuable. Fiala can walk. We can probably find a better third goalie than Gibson. But for the storyline, we'll see. And I wouldn't mind going for a 1-year high dollar amount contract on Panarin, Tavares, Crosby, especially if we move on from Max Aho. Having another proven performer in our top 6 can't hurt, as we have a lot of magic beans right now that are still very green and unproven. We have the money. I say we target one, get his rights at the draft, depends on no move clause, and then sign him to whatever he wants as long as there's no trade restrictions in case it doesn't work out and we need to flip them. So we overpay in the money essentially so as to not have to offer the no movement clause. I don't think we need to make major changes. We were top of the league in all the major categories, so I really think it was just bad luck to run into a goalie on top of his game. Having an extra game breaker could have been enough to make a difference in the outcome of the series. That's what we want to have moving into next year, into year number 5. We might also want to have the owner discuss with the league about moving us back to the Western Conference because the East is just way too strong. Well said, and thank you, Cheating Heel. Finally, we'll go to Gabin's comment, which said, oof, that was disappointing to say the least in the postseason. Our lack of top scoring really did us in, but I think there's still a lot to be excited about for the future. After winning the Stanley Cup last year with one of the youngest and most exciting teams in the league, we definitely shouldn't be looking to shake things up after the voodoo caught us. I still think that we deserved better in the regular season, plus we got goalied in the playoffs, so we keep on trucking forward. I'm not completely against the idea of signing a veteran to a 1-year deal, but like you said, someone in the top 9 needs to move. If we were to move anyone, and only if, I think Aho could be a candidate. He's demanding $8+ million when he is barely a half a point per game player in the regular season and has only really shown up in last year's playoff run. But again, since we are such a strong young team, I wouldn't be making any drastic changes unless there is a golden opportunity. I think a third pair of Vico and Ferraro also makes sense for the defense, and why not bring Gibson back as third goalie? Again, if you want to weaponize our cap space, we have this year, so sign a veteran forward, then maybe trade Dower Nilsson for a second-round pick or something, that's fine, but I would hesitate and think twice before making any moves of major consequence. It doesn't feel like it right at this moment, but we have to remember that we are one of the most exciting young teams in the NHL that is coming off of a recent cup win and still has lots of growth to come. Thanks, Data, and see you at the draft. Let's go Red Wings. Thank you, Gavin. Yeah, we have to keep that in mind. It's always tempting to think, let's make some major moves. This guy didn't show up, blah, blah, blah. Don't get me wrong. I'm upset with Max Aho as well, but there's no need to force things when you have player control, when you have them as RFAs, when they're under contract, when they're tradable. We don't need to do everything just, because now it's the magical draft. We can always do it at the start of next season, give it the preseason, see who's playing well, and then go with the simulation as opposed to trying to predict the future when it's still the offseason. You hear what I'm saying? Now, that being said, we move into the draft with some possibilities. We're going to be trading Kevin Fiala's rights. We're not going to be doing much else, like trying to get a guy like Crosby or whatever. They already have their own trade protection. We can't even trade John Carlson now. Aho will be under team control. I don't think we're really making any trades here at the draft, aside for maybe going after certain picks of players who we might want. So entering the entry draft right now, like I said, the picks on the block are 4, 7, and then after that it jumps to 16, 17, etc. We pick at 23 exactly. So there are some very tempting players out there. I'd love to see another trade for a top 4 pick or something, but I don't think it makes sense for us with how crowded it's been. To get another NHL ready 82 overall 17-year-old, where are we going to put them, right? So this guy, if there was one I would get, it would be this guy, Elias Bouleris. He's ranked 5th by Central Scouting, but 2nd by our scouts, a 6'3" playmaker at 17 years of age, NHL ready, A+ puck skills, 119 points in the WHL. Oh, he's a gem. I would love to get this guy, but what are you going to do? Trade a guy who just drafted top 5 last year for him? Like, it just wouldn't make sense. So just for the first few picks, I want to see Harper, 83 overall, medium elite sniper going number 1, Drieger going number 2 to the Sharks, Sexsmith's going, oh, now the Devils, okay, that is pick 4. I got confused there. Medium elite going to the Kraken. Doig, offensive defenseman, going to the Devils. And then he's going to go to the Penguins. No, what? Medium top 6 power forward. What a miss by the Penguins. Good. Keep him in the West. Wellwood. No, don't tell me he's coming in the division. And there he is. Bouleris, 81 overall. What misses by the Penguins and the Blackhawks? Bouleris, the right wing playmaker with the 3-star shooting, 4-star puck skills. Wow, 17-year-old, 81 overall, medium elite. That is crazy. So there, let's finish off the top 10. There you go, even a couple of 77 overalls. So at 23, you know what? May as well sim to our pick. We're not trading up. If anything, we're trading down. So let's trade to sim to our pick. Let's see. After that, we see medium elite, medium top 6, some higher overall guys, and the medium top 6s, etc. All these medium elite guys are going to be available in round 2, so why spend a 23rd overall pick on them when you can pick them at 30-something? Marcel Gamanche would be up next, 2 years away, medium top 6 potential, probably a bit of a higher overall than a guy in the second round. Zachariah Cato, another one. Central Scouting, ranked 19, has dropped to 23, actually. Didn't realize that. Marcel Gamanche. So we could trade down. Let's say in theory, we say, okay, I want pick, I don't know, let's say Rodin. Top 6 sniper, Ludwig Rodin, 2 years away with A shooting. That would be interesting at 38. So if you say, okay, we have 23. This is 33, 34. Let's say I'm looking for pick 35 from the Devils. In theory, you should get decent value back for swapping 23 for 35. But what could we get back? It's usually pretty ridiculous. Could we get, just to say in case, a 3rd, a 6th, and a 7th? Obviously not. But then you start chipping away. You aren't where you need to be. Could we get pick 67 in exchange for going down 12 picks? I'm going to offer this. Rejected, quite close to fair value. So it would cost, we could get a 4th for sure. Is it worth taking a 4th to trade down from 23? Do we take Gamanche? Or do you go for the sniper? Both are good. Let me take a quick time out here. And you know what? It might not be a bad time to ask the AGMs in the Discord server. So I'm going to ping the on-call AGMs and ask them what they think about this one. If you're in the Discord server, you're about to get a ping. So it's pretty clear from the AGM vote so far in the Discord server after a few minutes, currently at a vote of 11-0 that we should be going in favor of Rodin. Now the reason why I asked this question, because Gen Z McKenzie even asked, I don't know why this question was asked, it was because of mainly the drop of Gamanche made me so tempted to say, this guy's ranked 19th by our scouts, he has dropped to 23. And as well, yes, to C- league, but he is producing very well, 87 and 66. Everyone else in C- leagues around this point, you see 44 and 63. You see, how's this guy? 59 and 66. This is the last guy in a C- league who is really like point per game plus. So Gamanche was tempting for that reason. But I do agree, he has the better attributes, this guy, Rodin does. The better attributes of all the top sixes in the second round. He's 2 years away. He had good production in an A+ league. And these other guys, I looked at them in depth as well. They're okay, but really Rodin stands out. So yeah, I think that was the answer. But hey, it gets the AGMs involved, and it verifies my own thoughts, and I'm not going crazy. So we will indeed trade down, trying to get this Devils pick at 30. We said what, 35? Yes, and we'll see if we can squeeze a third out of it if we trade a seventh. Let's see what we can do. I forget which one we had asked for. Was it 67? If I give you 201. Can I get 67 back? Yes. All right. Thank you very much. So we get pick 67 out of that. Thank you very much. And the Devils go ahead and select Gamanche. Exactly. 67 overall, medium top 6 was Marcel Gamanche. 2-star shooting, 2.5-star puck skills, etc. Now the guy we will draft at 35, Rodin. Yes. Let's see what he ends up being. From Sweden, playing in the SHL. 2 years away, the A+ shooting, probably 3-star shooting. Welcome to Detroit, 71 overall, medium top 6, 3-star shooting. Yeah, I think we made the right call, and we got the 67th overall pick in a trade to boot. I am happy with that move, all right? That's why you got to think about things a little bit before you go and do them. At the end of the first round, who else went? Top 4D. Cato ended up being 65 overall, medium top 6 as well. All these guys were in the 60s. Yeah, so to see that our guy was 71 and same age, same height, same potential. Yeah, thank you very much. Now, next pick comes at 67, but we did want to try and trade up, if we look especially at our pinned guys, for, where is he? Matvechuk, low elite power forward, who's 3 years away. So if we could trade up for something in the late 40s, a lot of our guys are later that we want after this. So if we could trade up for the late 40s, that would be optimal. 48 is the first one on the block, so it might be a little bit tight, but let's try for 48. Would a third and a sixth get it done? 87 and 183 for 48? No way. Sometimes you get surprised by what the AI will do. They laugh you out of the room half the time, but sometimes they say they're dancing in the streets. Third and a fifth for a second. Value's too far off. So yeah, it would be a third and a fourth. So we'll trade 87 and 119. We'll keep 67, which we just got, and we'll move, and we'll get 48. So 87 and 119. Still too far off, huh? That's too bad. Maybe we should use 67 and count it as an extension of that trade. So instead of getting back 67 by moving down, we're actually getting 48, but it costs us a sixth and a seventh. Would that be a third and a sixth? Okay, so instead of it costing us a first and a seventh for that package from the Devils, it's actually a first, a sixth, and a seventh for that second round pick at 35 and the pick that ended up being 48. Okay, yeah, I'm fine moving a sixth and a seventh to make that happen. So thankfully our guy is still there. Yeah, I was thinking about Blair, Popov, all these other guys. We see they were in lower 60s. Yeah, mid 60s, no problem. So let's go ahead and make our selection now at 49. Matvechuk, the right wing power forward, 6'2", out of the WHL. There are a couple other interesting, like low top 4D, low top 6 forward, but I think it's an obvious pick here at 50, or at 48, I should say. Jace Matvechuk, welcome to Detroit. You are 66 overall, low elite potential. Welcome aboard. All right, very good. Now our next pick comes at 87. Let's just make sure there's no one between now and 87, especially of who's pinned. No one pinned. All of our pinned guys are going to be later, which is fantastic. Some low top 6 forwards, low top 4Ds, but after trading a 6th and a 7th, I want to keep our later picks. I might even trade this next pick unless, there's a medium top 6 green who might be there at 87. You know what, if he's there, I think we take him, and if we don't, maybe we trade down. These are low top. Let's let the universe decide. Let's go to 87, and it looks like green is probably there. A medium top 4D just went. Yeah, to say there's a medium top 6 forward, I think it's hard to pass that up. A gem as well. Pat Green, 5 years away, but the top 6 potential. Yeah, hard to say no. Yes, a medium starter. Yes, a low top 6 forward. Low top 4D, excuse me. But a top 6 forward, let's do it. Pat Green, welcome. And he is 55 overall, but medium top 6. Okay, now to pick 119. We have how many picks left in this draft? Just 2 more, and there's more prospects we would like. So now's the time where we're going to go out and see what would teams want to give us for Kevin Fiala. Anyone out there with a juicy 7th for us? Let's see, Kevin Fiala. No trades found. We'll have to make it happen ourselves. Where is he tradable to? Okay, one of these 22 teams. Let's send him to the West and see what happens. Fiala for a 7th. What do you say? No, going to decline. We don't feel the right move for us. He doesn't fit our team needs. So let's retain 3.938. Nope. Here you go. I'll throw in Gagne because for sure he'll want an NHL contract this next year. So let me throw in Gagne. The rights to Gagne, who's going to be wanting an NHL contract, which we cannot provide. So Gagne and Fiala, and you're going to give me a 6th. How about that? You don't even have it. Can I get a 5th out of this? I might be able to get a 5th out of this. And you know what? It's just right, so I'm going to keep it just a 5th. What do you say, Calgary? A 5th? Still rejected, really? Okay, so can we take a 6th next year? Really? Just the 7th then? Still? That's crazy. Well, at our selection, actually, at 119, there's not much that we would even want. So let's trade down from this pick, and let's try to get one of the medium elite goalies being Semenov, our first pinned guy at 143. So let's try to trade 119 for 140 and maybe some sort of 7th. So 119 for 140 and 204. No, why would they want to do that, right? Even straight up, it looks like that would probably be rejected. That is crazy. Utah, how about you? 119 for 145 and 209 isn't sufficient at all. Okay, how about this? A 4th, 119 for 143 and 207 will give you Gagne and Fiala. Oh my goodness, and just with Gagne still. Okay, so there's no way to do anything then. But there are 4 guys left who we want, especially this guy Lapointe, who seems very interesting to me. He's 17, nothing special, rank 199, only 2 bars low elite, but his official 4-bar discovered NHL ETA is 3 years away. For a 17-year-old with a 3-year away ETA, his overall must be at least interesting. So I'd like to get Ryan, Semenov, and Lapointe at least. Novoseltsev. These are guys who were pinned by Sam's comment, by the way. I didn't have enough time to go through all that behemoth of a comment, but I appreciated it, and I pinned the players he asked me to pin. So maybe Kirill has to be let go. We already got a sniper later on. So let's unpin him. Let's try and get these 3 guys. We have 2 picks left, like I said, but how are we going to get more value? Okay, if I give you Anaheim 7th next year, can you make it a 6th? Can I get a 6th from you next season? And then we'll play around with that. A 5th and 2 6ths for a 4th, a 5th, and a 7th. Okay, that's accepted. Now, the Canadians pick right now. They'll take medium top 9 forward. So now what we want to do is try and flip that 6th for, and a 158, that's going to be risky. Oh, did I trade for the wrong one? Oh, I should have traded for one. Wait, what did I just trade for? Oh, I took the wrong one from the Canadians. I wanted 142, not 158. Oh my goodness. So now, can I try and, I'll give you 158 for 142. I wonder if I give you Gagne's rights. Does that make it happen? Does that smooth over everything? Yes, it does. Okay, so at least that retcons that. Thank you. So we do get to pick at 142, which is what I wanted to do from the beginning. With that selection, we'll take the medium elite goalie, just barely. Semenov is out there. Marcus Semenov. Medium elite, welcome to the organization. 59 overall, medium elite, not bad at all. Now, the last 2 guys we want are rank where we said 199 and 321. So easy to get this guy 199. We'll go to 190. Here we'll take him with pick 30 in round 6. I'm really curious what his overall is. Potential, maybe nothing special, medium top 9, but I wonder what his overall might be. Louis Lapointe. Let's see. Montre-moi, mon ami. You are 73 overall low elite? What? A 17-year-old at the end of round 6, ranked 199th, is a 73 overall at 17 years of age. That is a ridiculous find, and you don't see that every day. You do not see that every day. Wow. Let me take a screenshot of this for the subreddit. That's a crazy find. Shout out to Sam for pinning that one without even seeing the ETA. Outstanding find. 3-star puck skills, 3-star shooting. Oh my goodness. Now, can we go and get the last pick of the draft? to get the guy, William Ryan, the French defenseman. Pick number 32 in round 7. Give me pick 224, and I will give you a 7th next year. So we get to keep Colorado's 6th. I'll give you the 7th from Philly next year, which is for sure going to be better. And you give me the last pick in the draft. How about that? There you go. Everybody's happy. So we'll sim to pick 224, and there it is. It is ours. We'll take that French defenseman. Anyone else who's just interested to see potential? No, nothing. So looking at the pin, William Ryan from France. William Ryan, 6'4", low top 4D. Nothing crazy, but I like that potential. And he is a 50 overall, but has the potential. Nice. So all in all, not a bad draft. A lot of wheeling and dealing for the picks. Rodin, Matvichuk, Green, Semenov, Lapointe, and Ryan. I like that haul for the 2029 class. Very nicely done. And now we move on to see. So we couldn't dump Kevin Fiala. Nobody wanted him. We'll have to give a new contract to Parker Funk. No problem. And then now, here in the re-sign phase, we can finally say goodbye to Kevin Fiala. It worked out when he got here. 18 points in 26 games, and then even 58 points in year number 2, then fell off to 39 in his 3rd season. Playoff stats, on the Stanley Cup run, he was great, 23 and 25. He got his Stanley Cup here in Detroit. Congrats to him. Just things weren't clicking. Good luck in free agency. That's that, okay? Now, I'll go ahead and take care of some of the UFAs, especially the prospects who need their ELCs. I'll do those very quickly. I'll see which Farrell, Weisblatt, etc., what they would want. For the RFAs, I think Lombardi's going to be released. Probably re-sign everybody else. I'll think about that, and well, we'll talk about Aho in a moment. And for the unsigned players, probably everybody stays for now. And in the goaltending, Gibson, I'd like to sign him. We said Guimont and Richmond will be our AHL tandem. So Richmond will get his ELC, Guimont will get his contract, but Miller will be released, and we'll give a contract to John Gibson. So let me take care of all of that, re-sign that scout, and then we'll advance a day. All right, so mostly everyone taken care of, even Allen and Lombardi. They're not great, but we need players in the AHL. We qualified them. We'll see what happens when July 1st hits. Now, Carter Bear, we know we're going to sign him. I just want to see what he'd be asking for. Just 1 year, even 2 years. 3 years stay as an RFA. Even, yeah, we could do 3 years two-way, and then just bump the money up a little bit. Yeah, sure. 3 years two-way staying as an RFA. He'll get back to us. Colton Sissons, I'd love to keep him as 4th-line center, but he does want a little bit much. 2 years at 1.2. I'd be okay giving him 1 year. And you know what? We have so much money. Why fight it? He's been a good 4th-line center for us. 1 year, 1.6. Why not? Any other year, I'd say no, but we have the money. Bernard Docker as 7th defenseman. 2 years is fine by me. 1 year, it doesn't. 1 and 3 years, not as much interest. Really, 2 years is what he wants. Can we go down to 2x2? We can do 2x2 on Jacob Bernard Docker. And finally, Max Aho. I wouldn't mind just qualifying him, giving him a 1 year deal kind of thing. Like, that he wants 4x8 right now, he hasn't proven that. I still think we're keeping him. I don't think we're trading him in the near future, but I'm not ready for a 4-year contract. Let's qualify Aho, see what he wants on July 1st. And Labushkin, he's been great, but the defense is kind of filled now, and he wants $3.3 million as a 35-year-old. Who knows how he might regress over the offseason? Because when we look at the defense, we have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5... 6 in Vico, 7 in Bernard Docker. Yes, we love Labushkin. He was acquired as just a random contract to balance out a trade with Dallas. And not a trade, it was a big trade, the one that sent Bushelnikov and Jenner and Evangelista. So that was a big deal. We needed to take back a contract. And hey, he ends up playing a season and a half. 129 games as a Red Wing, scoring, 23 points and being a Stanley Cup champion? Hey, it turned out to work out pretty well. Even those 3 points and a +9 in the Stanley Cup run. Great, so Ilya Labushkin, we love you, but just no room for you. You deserve to be in maybe even the top 4, but a top 6 of another team. So we will release you to the wild. And I think that's everybody, right? All expiring, and we can advance a day. Yes, we can. So advancing a day now. Jacob Bernard Docker is on board. Colton Sissons, Carter Bear, lovely. So the 3 RFAs who are qualified, still just about $40 million in cap space. Wonderful. Unsigned players, yes, but we'll wait and see on them how offseason growth goes. Now let's move to July 1st. All the scouts are good to go, and by the way, we will need a new goalie coach. Maybe we'll just promote this guy, actually. Wild. Jonathan Wild, A+ teaching. maybe we'll just promote him to the NHL because it's so hard to sign a goalie coach and then get them to sign on because, oh, no, I want to be an assistant coach, blah, blah, blah. We'll see who's available on July 1st in the staff free agency pool. And now let's get to July 1st. Which veteran might drop? I wonder, like, we just got to take advantage of this cap space and go sign somebody. Even if there's no roster space, let's see what happens. Let's see who fights for a spot. You have to earn your spot on a team like this. Lane Hudson has indeed dropped. Oh my goodness, we spoke about this in the Discord server. If Lane Hudson drops, do we dare send an offer sheet to a divisional rival and get their 91 overall top pair left D? Now, the sad reality is, in simulation, he's not as much of a beast. 52 points this past year. Yes, you know what? He showed signs of something. 65 points. We've done career sims with Lane Hudson that just have not gone well. But 5-star puck skills, 5-star senses, 5-star skating, 4-star defense, yes. First, let's just start with the UFAs. Any cool UFA forwards who are out here? Sorting by overall, yes. Was it already? Rossi, Sveshnikov, Cooley, Hayton, Protas. In these veterans, Panarin, guys who would want a 1-year deal. Panarin wanting 1 year at 86 overall, but last year 51 points in 66 games. Yeah, that's true. They're part of the Ranger squad that eliminated us. Sean Monahan, any of the guys who want 1 year? Nugent Hopkins, Evgeny Malkin at 42 years of age. We've had Malkin before in our franchise modes. Claude Giroux at 41. Wow. Kiefer Sherwood is 34. Palmieri's 38. How are these guys still out here? Goodness gracious. So if we were to say, and Alfiala wants 3x6, with us he wants, okay, forget it. Panarin, 1 year at 5 point whatever, or 6 million, that would definitely be doable. And just out of curiosity, who is here on defense as a UFA? Adam Fox, but he wants 17.4 million for 3 years. If we were to sign Adam Fox, he's 31. He really wants 5 years. If we did 5 years with a full no move clause, we have to get into the 18 millions. Yeah, it's just not possible. There were some suggestions about Braden Schneider to say there's a right D defensive defenseman. He has 4-star defense, but honestly, just 85 shot blocking, 84 stick checking. Yes, the physical is very good, but there are better defensemen out there in terms of simulation attributes. 91 defensive awareness is awesome, but 85 shot blocking, 84 stick checking, like I'd rather go to Mook Madulin, who has, you know, even Lyubushkin. We should have just kept Lyubushkin if we're going to go ahead and do that. Anyways, if we're getting a big-name defenseman, it would probably be Lane Hudson. He would be our new first pair on the left. He'd play with Sider on the right. That's if we're moving Carlson, because then the second pair becomes Edvinsson and ASP. So are we willing to move out John Carlson so as to make a run at Lane Hudson? But then it costs us, what, 4 first-round picks? So if we did 7 years on Hudson, maybe even 6, because 7 he wants 15.5, 6 he wants 12.9. So if you give him the full no move clause, he didn't even ask for that, but if you give him the full no move, it doesn't even move it that much. If we did 6 by, I don't know, 16, right? Like the Canes wouldn't be able to match at 6 years at 16.25. If you offer that, it would cost 4 first-round picks. Is that what this team wants to do? I mean, we take a chunk out of a rival team, out of an Atlantic Division rival. Will he simulate well is the question. Could we recoup some first-round picks by then trading John Carlson, who is now tradable because it's July 1st? What does John Carlson's value look like? Not that high, but high enough. He is 39. I have to think about what Max Aho wants as a contract as well. If we went to find trade, this offseason just got very interesting. If we went to find trade for John Carlson, would there be a team even offering us a first? Telefis, Boldzuk, and a third from the Canadians. Yeah, Zegras and a fourth. Lebedev and a seventh, an elite prospect. So there's teams that want John Carlson. Like, let's say the Flyers, not even the Flyers, let's say Utah, a team in the West. If we were to move John Carlson to Utah, who wants him plus who's on his trade list? Could we say, give us a first-round pick for John Carlson? I think we could. Yeah, for sure. Could we get more than a first-round pick? Could we say, give us 2 firsts, and we give you Carlson and 2/3, something like that, to try and balance things out? That might be possible, but definitely at least 1 first. So if we say first for a first swap out, we're giving 3 firsts to acquire Lane Hutson. Now, if we acquire his rights straight up, let's say, for the Montreal Canadiens, he's not on the trade block, I doubt, but just out of curiosity, no, he's not on the block. Would he cost more in terms of trade value? Not that we would do it, but would he cost more than 3 first-round picks? I would wager that the answer is yes. It's close, but the answer is yes. Yeah, I'm not going to send it. They don't want this. They don't want to move him. The value's still in their favor. They're going to say no. So now, but they also do have the cap space. So just because we send the offer doesn't necessarily mean that they're going to say that they won't match it. So we could go through this big, long song and dance of do we do it? In the end, they could match it. And I'm sure they would match it. So you know what? I think we're going to go for it just to send it. I don't think I can't remember the last time we sent an offer sheet in franchise modes, in a franchise mode series, and I don't think we've ever done one in a 7-year, in a deal that would have us send 4 first-round picks back. But you know what? If we can somehow make it happen, I mean, do we add the clauses? I mean, the interest goes up a little bit, and he's very interested in signing with us. Do we make it a full no-move clause? Yeah, I guess. 2 years that we could feel it out, and then years 3, 4, 5, 6, that's realistic. It doesn't move the contract interest bar very much, but it's realistic that he would want a full no-move clause as soon as he could get it. So 6 years at 16.25 on Lane Hutson. I bet the Canadiens will match. That's why I'm not going too crazy about this. But I think to say we get a chunk out of a division rival, we get our first pair left D, we'll then trade and get value for John Carlson. It's not the direction I thought we'd be going in, but how often does an opportunity like this come up, right? Going up in the salary doesn't really change much for the interest. I mean, we could go to 16.8. Keep in mind the salary cap is 116.5 million, and we will need money to re-sign those other players on our team, right? We can't, yes, we're going crazy, but we can't go into 17, 18, 19 just to say we have money. So if we keep it at 16.25 for 6 years, you know what? Let's send it. Let's send it and let's see. The AV, yes, sent. Offer sheet has been sent. Woo-hoo, very rare moment. The offer sheet has been sent to Lane Hutson. Now, is he going to, yeah, I'm sure he'll sign, but is it going to be matched by the Canadiens? That is going to be the next question. Now for Max Aho, we're going to end up doing a 1-year contract on him, for sure. 1 year. Now, can we do it right now? If we offer him 1 year, $6 million, what's the contract interest? Like nothing. So we'll wait on Max Aho. Do we do the 1-year deal on a guy like Artemi Panarin? We said we would. We'll sign him and we'll figure it out. Crosby didn't drop, Tavares didn't drop, Duchesne didn't drop. That's really too bad. But if if the teams were going to re-sign them, I guess it it makes sense. And if Panarin wants to sign, he was close to point per game last year. Let's see. Interest doesn't change too much. Seems like, what's the magic number here? Let's see. Trying to find it right here. Magic number is 5.55. 1 year, 5.55 is the magic number. It doesn't go much, go up much after that unless you're adding clauses and whatnot. So you know what? No one offered him a contract. He's interested in signing with us. 1 year at 5.55. I'm going to send it. Panarin, get back to us. We'll send it and we'll see. So I can't believe it. Wow. And we'll wait and find out. Now, I guess we'll just do due diligence on any other positions maybe. Goaltenders, Jacob Fowler, another chunk out of the Canadiens. So they can't sign both. Fowler and Hudson, they're going to have to figure out who they're going to let walk. I mean, we have our goalie situation figured out right now. We have Wallstedt, we have Augustine, but just to say, and low franchise Michael Hrabal, his potential has grown. Created player, of course, since this universe didn't have him when the franchise mode began. But wow, 90 overall Jacob Fowler. What kind of numbers did he put up? 922 save percentage, really career 914 and 135 appearances right now. I would love to get Jacob Fowler on this team. But we have a couple of really solid goalies right now. And just who are the UFAs? Even Ilya Nabokov, 1 year at 2.9 for a guy who's a high starter. That's crazy. I would love to go out and get one of these goalies right now. 83s, 84 overalls who don't want anything. But we have 2 great goalies on very reasonable contracts. So that's that. Now for all skaters who are UFAs, sorting by potential. Dumais, interesting. Low elite Dumais, 25-year-old Jordan Dumais dropped to free agency. What did he do in the AHL last year? 50 points in 66 games. Decent ice time. Not really interesting me that much, I have to say. Then you have guys who are 25 but 80 overall. But we're the guys that want 2-way deals, right? So open to two-way deals. Let's look like this. So here's this guy, Ehrhoff, Matteo Ehrhoff, third-round pick from Seattle. Left unsigned. Wonky attributes here. But a centerman with top-line potential, 70 at 19. Yeah, sure, why not? I mean, I think we're missing centerman, if I'm not mistaken, in Grand Rapids. So Matteo Ehrhoff, welcome to the team. There's somebody in the system. I don't think anyone else really speaks to me. Kai Gordov, low top 6 potential, undrafted sniper. I think we'll be okay. Ehrhoff, who was left unsigned, was really interesting to me. And for defense, anything, high top 6, Looking at player type, Lebedev, O'Coin, second-round pick, third-round pick. Yeah, Lebedev, why not? Let's throw him in the system. 67 at 19 with medium top 60 potential. Let's throw him 3 years, 1 million. He's on board. All right, so there's one of each. I guess it's a 43 contracts. We have 5 sent out. Okay, so now it's time. Oh, not just yet. Got to look at the coaching staff. We need a goalie coach. We said that. So looking at the staff to hire. Even Brendamore is a free agent. I'll see if there's any new scouts that we can go and sign. I'll take care of that off screen. And for the coaches, if we need a new goalie coach, any NHL assistant coaches. If we go by goalies, anyone with goalie teaching specialty here? So of the goalies, everyone's pretty much rated D or worse. Oh, A, what? Okay, NHL head coach, Patrick Waugh. Yeah, that's not going to work. So everyone is D. There's a B minus, Pavelka. Okay. Let's see if we can sign him on to be associate coach, and we'll have to play musical chairs. NHL associate coach and play musical chairs. That'll be what we try, because it's so hard to get a B minus. I have no problem cheesing the system when it comes to the coaches, because the system is so horrible. I'm just too excited. I gotta start simulating a few days here. Our scouts are fine. Let's start advancing a few days. We got to see if these guys are going to sign on. Let's see. Rejecting. You've not offered me as many years as I'm looking for, so I got to go back and offer him 3 years. Okay, so you know what? It was signed from the universe. Yeah, I'll give you a second and 2 prospects to take back 2/3. Are you serious, Vegas? Okay, let me go sign some scouts and give a proper contract offer to Pavelka. Then offseason focuses. Yeah, still a lot of things to do. Okay, back to it. Advancing a few more days. Okay, so yes, this we knew would happen. Lane Hutson, I have decided to accept your offer, but it's not a done deal yet. My previous team still has the option of matching your deal. So I wonder if we should have played a crazy game where we send Fowler a contract, make them match it, sign Fowler, then no money left for Hudson. But if they match for Hudson and they have no money left for Fowler, then so be it. We're just trying to play the honest game here. Demands I want in order to sign, you haven't met them. What do you mean demands? He said he didn't want to be scratched. I saw that in the corner. I didn't ever say no to that, Panarin. What are you saying? So Lane Hutson has accepted. Now, will he sign? Is there cap space available in Montreal still after these first few days? Let's see after the first few days of free agency. Yes, I'm sure they'll match. We tried our best, but I'm sure they'll match. Now, back to free agency for Panarin, I guess. If we look at forwards who are UFAs, Panarin still no one else interested in him. Other guys who want one-year deals like Nugent Hopkins. But let's try this again on Panarin. I agreed to your promises. We have to go to negotiations and tell him. Player request, never scratch. Okay, go to negotiations. I have to say, yes, I agree. I don't want a charm. I just want to see. I'm checking where, okay, neutral. Contract. 1 year. He wants 5.85. Fine. No problem. Is fair. Continue. And that's it. I can't do anything else. 1 year, 5.85. 200 more K or 300 more K than before. Okay, advancing forward. A couple of scouts are going to sign on. Very good. Only sent out 2 offers. Dominic Erat. He ended up being a better coach than the other guy, Pivenka or whatever. So Dominic Erat will be our new goalie coach. That's great. Michael Kolnick, okay, Kolnick, whatever, is on board. Now we're just waiting to see, will the Canadiens match on Lane Hutson? I'm not trying to get too excited just yet, but that would be crazy for the first pair left D. Lane Hutson. Panarin goes to the Penguins. Goodbye. All right, Panarin off to Pittsburgh. Maybe it's not meant to be to get a veteran. But Crosby, Panarin, Tavares, Duchesne, nobody's there. Let's not force it then. Advancing another day. Come on, Montreal, let him be. They're not willing. Lane Hutson, you're a Red Wing! The Montreal Canadiens are not matching, and we're sending 4 first-round picks for Lane Hudson. Welcome to Detroit. I can't believe it. They said we don't have the money, and Lane Hudson is coming to Detroit. I'm happy to announce my previous team did not match your offer, so I'm free and clear to join your organization. Thanks for the opportunity. Lane Hudson, welcome to Detroit. That is incredible. Out of nowhere. Wow. Oh, so now it's sad, but we got to move John Carlson now. That leaves us with $24.5 million in cap space. So that's going to be tough when it comes time to sign our other guys. To be dedicating $16 million to a defenseman is tough, but a 91 overall offensive guy on your top pair with Moritz Seider, that solidifies our top four for years to come. Hudson, Edmondson, ASP, and Seider, lock it in. That was a question mark. When Carlson's gone, who joins the top four? Will Vico be able to do that? I don't think so. So now if we go to Utah, I think we're going to have to make it happen. Yeah, they have the money still and everything. If we go to Utah and say, we'll take your first round pick for John Carlson, we have no first for the next 4 years. It's a first. It is a first in a franchise mode for us. It's definitely a costly contract. That's what the offensive defenseman costs in this universe. They want Carlson. The first, I think, would be, I think we get a little bit more than the first, not much. Could we say a sixth this year and a sixth next year? A first and 2 sixths for John Carlson. Coming off of a career year, I would want to keep him, but he will regress and he'll be done after this next season. To say that we get Lane Hudson for the next, whatever it was, 6 years instead, it's a tough trade, but it has to be done. On behalf of the Utah Mammoth organization, I accept your trade offer. We'll see you out on the ice. Thank you, Utah, and we'll see where what that first becomes. So we keep our first in 2030. That's nice to say, but we have to keep in mind, no first for 2031, 32, or 33. So it costs us essentially 3 first-round picks to change from 1 year of John Carlson to 6 years of Lane Hudson. Will some disagree? Perhaps, but Intelligent Dice made a great point in the Discord server where we're taking a chunk out of a divisional rival as well in doing this, while also giving us years of stability in our top 4. Wow, oh me, oh my. Now we still have to give a contract to Aho. That shouldn't be too hard. We can also offer extensions to other players now. Aho with his DEL team. 1 year at 5.9 is what he's looking for. So how can we bring it down? Yeah, come on now. Let's not go crazy here, Max Aho. Let's not go crazy. It's 1 year, 7.6. This is ridiculous. And if it gets to 6 years, no, you know what? We're gonna wait because we're sure we're offering him 1 year. We're gonna wait till August, and that's when the 1 year demand really drops off. Now, if we came to a guy like ASP, he probably wants 10 plus million. So we're talking 32 million in cap space now. ASP might have wanted more, so 4 years is really not bad. 1 year would stay as an RFA, but 4 years is really not bad. 5 at 8.1, but 4 years at 7.9. That gets him to 28. I'd want longer. I'd want to go longer on him if possible. Maybe adding clauses to a 5-year deal makes it worth his time. Yeah, no, I wouldn't mind giving him a no-move clause. If we can keep him for 2 more years and we're confident in keeping him, and that no-move clause allows us to save a good like 500K, I think that's worth it. 6 years, no, it wouldn't work for 6 years. But 5 years at 6.95 on Axel Sandin Palik, I think would be the move. I think that works. Hopefully it won't grow yet. Now, Tuukka Riisanen, what would you be looking for in extension? 3 years, 7.4, stays as an RFA. If we were to go long-term, maybe we go long-term. 8x9 is what he's looking for. He's 20, or would it make more sense because he'd be then a UFA at 28. Maybe it's better to do, yeah, he doesn't really want the 8 years. So I think giving him the 3 years that he's looking for, maybe squeezing it to 4. That's probably what would make him happier. How far can we get it down now? 4 years at 7.25? Can't offer him any clauses. 7.35. I mean, you know what? His organizational interest is high enough that I'm going to try 7.25. 4 years at 7.25 and recent, and that would be great. We're making some big financial moves here. Fyodorov, what would he want? 2 years at 8 million. Yeah, he's the guy. But 1 year is 6. I'm going to have to wait on Fyodorov more than anybody. And then for Easton Cowan, he's looking at, yeah, that's very reasonable. 3 by 5.9. 1 year keeps him as an RFA, but I'm okay giving him 3 years. Then after that, if he has to walk or whatever else, we have no room in the center spot anymore. And again, high organizational interest. So let's go 3 years at 5.25. 3 years, 5.25 on Easton Cowan. A lot more reasonable than I originally thought. Now, I wonder, of all those, who will sign? And for the goalies, Trey Augustine then needs a contract as well. But we can't offer it yet because he's on a new contract. Boy, so maybe we don't sign a free agent veteran then. It was only if it was going to be one of those, like we said, game breakers. But if there's none of those guys, why are we going to force an 83 overall into our lineup when there's no room in the top 9, right? Maybe there's a fourth liner out there we could go and get. But Bear, Dower Nilsson, Sissons, I don't know if anyone's speaking to me. Bemstrom is an 81 overall. Even Brazeau, who's in our Boston Bruins series. Keegan Colasar was a really sneaky pickup in our Bruins series. He scored very well. 10 points in 30-something games. Maybe Keegan Colasar could be an interesting option for us. Yeah, you know what? He did so well in our Bruins series, live on Thursday evenings, by the way, that I think we're going to go ahead and give him 1 year, 1.5. Yeah, let's do it. Welcome Keegan Colasar, just to throw another forward in there, but not one who's going to push somebody out of the top 9. All right? So at this point, let's advance a few more days before we do off-season focuses. Let's get answers on these extensions. I wonder. Malkin went back to Pittsburgh, and they want to give him to us with a 5th for a 2nd and a 3rd. I say no. We have to stay competitive as well to keep the Canadians from getting good picks. Riisanen is on board for the extension. Easton Cowan is on board. So is ASP. Woo-hoo! And very reasonable cap hits, I do have to say. So now, when we look at our contract situation, we have $30 million in cap space still. Are we, like, what's the floor? What's the cap floor? We have to sign somebody still, maybe. When we look at, because Aho needs his contract still. When we look at the extension dollars, that still leaves us with $15 million, and really just Fyodorov and Aho. $15 million for those two. It's doable. Aho still wants crazy numbers. We'll get him signed. We'll get him signed. I'm not worried about Aho. That hopefully gets us to the cap floor. Now, for off-season focuses, let me just... I've done enough. This video is going to be long enough for an off-season. Let me do a bunch of this off-screen, just doing a few players who are weak in certain areas where they need to be given their, strengthen up over the off-season a little bit. We'll cross our fingers for it. And then once I'm done giving those off-season focuses, we will sim to August to give Max Aho his 1 year contract. Okay, here we are on August 1st now. Aho, have you come back down to earth? Let's see. 1 year, 4.8. Fantastic. So, and I'm just curious, out of 8 years, yeah, 11.4. So 1 year, we can get it down to, let's do just a clean 1 year, even 4.5 for 1 year. Think about that. And Cam Allen, do you still want a one? No, it's perfect. League minimum for two-way. Welcome aboard. Okay, so, and then finally, all expiring, still waiting on figuring out Fyodorov. 2 years, 10 million, yeah. And then 16 million, it's not going to be possible. We could do 1 year now. He's kind of been worth that 8 million price tag, but then you go down to 8 million, he's not interested. So, no, we're going to wait on him and everybody else. And from here, we can go to the beginning of the preseason, see what other growth there is to be had, and wrap up this incredible offseason that has been. And yes, Max Aho accepting, thankful for our interest, and hoping that we'll have a long and happy relationship. All right, here we go, ready to set the lines for year number 5. Crossing our fingers for some growth, and we're already seeing it. Sierra 83, Fyodorov 85, Aho 87. No growth from Riisanen, no growth from Cowan. No growth from Dower Nilsson. Well, he did go 81, 82 at the end of the season. Sandin Bleak up to an 87. Edvinsson 87. Goaltending, Walsh at 89. Augustine still 85. Villain at an 81. And down in the AHL, is Carter Bear, he's from a 78 to a 79. Yeah. Franzen 75 to 77. Defense, Vico 81, Petrov 79 just got signed on his ELC, 4th round pick in 2027. Look at the 96 passing, 4-star puck skills. I don't know, between Vico and Petrov, who should we have up here? It might be Petrov. It's just the skating that is very different, I think. Wow. Anyways, let me go ahead and fix up how the lines might look. Gibson there at a 78. And then we'll get to talking about strategy moving into 2029-30. All right, so here's how we might be looking moving into year number 5. Risanen, Larkin, Raymond, +4 on the first line. Risanen still no X factors, perfect fits. I don't know what, I want to get the +5. Doesn't really mean anything. I don't know, but there they are. Second line, Fyodorov, Kasper, Aho with the +2. That line hasn't worked in the past, but that was Fyodorov being like an 82, 83. Now it's an 85. Aho's an 87. I wonder. Third line, Radish, Cowan, and Sierra up to an 83 now. And fourth line, Dower Nilsson, Sissons, Bear with the -1, sadly. On defense, here's the core we've been waiting for. Hudson, Seider, top pair +2. Edvinsson, Sandin, Palika, second pair +2. Vico, Ferraro, third pair +2. This is crazy chemistry. For our power play quarterbacks, you could say Hudson, power play quarterback 1. Sandin, Palika, power play quarterback 2. Seider, still a guy who can put up 40, 50 plus points. Edvinsson, the exact same, just not getting as much power play time maybe. We'll see what we can work out with the power play minutes. There's a lot of forwards who also need time. This is ridiculous. Now, he hasn't simulated super well. I can hear the reservations in the comments already. You just gave 16+ million to a guy who's been like a 50-point scorer. But listen, he had that potential of 65 points. He's been on a so-so Canadiens team. The level of teammates maybe not that high. Give him the chemistry, give him the teammates that we have, a Stanley Cup caliber team, the X factors that he has, 91 overall, still some more room for growth, 5-star puck skills, blah, blah, blah. I think we can get the most out of Lane Hudson. And you know what? Worst comes to worst, we have 2 years before he becomes untradeable with the no movement clause. So to say that we moved on from Karlsson and it cost us 3 first-round picks to get 2 years of experimentation of turning John Karlsson into Lane Hudson, I'm okay with that. Is it a hefty price? Is it a big contract? Yes. But Risanen, everyone else took good extensions, and we are in an okay spot when it comes to the finances right now. Forgot to also show you goaltending. We already knew it whilst at Augustine, but the scratches, Gibson 78, Bernard Docker 70 is an 81, and Kolasar, should he be on the fourth line instead of Carter Bear? Does Carter Bear get traded? Do we give him the chance in the lineup? I don't know. In the AHL, not that much Corvo, friends, and it's more on defense here. Wieland, Petrov +2, Allen and Johansson +2, Smith, Niemi +3. Petrov could be an NHLer almost. Depth D, he's 21, but it's his first taste of North American hockey. And then for the goaltending, Guimont at 75, medium starter, backed up by Rocky Richmond, 20-year-old, 64 overall, medium elite. Scratches, Lebedev, Kiviharju. And there you have it. So a lot to be thinking about moving into 2029-30. Oh my goodness. The captains are all the same, correct? Larkin, Raymond, and Seider. Yep, no differences there. I'll go ahead and play around with the power play and penalty kill. We'll see how it goes in the preseason, so I won't bother going into it too much right now. And I guess we can just finish off by looking at final contract extension asks and trade blocks. So all expiring now. Aho, can't give him a contract right now, but Fyodorov, now that he's grown in overall, is he still on crazy stuff? Yeah, pretty much still the same as before. Yeah. So I don't think we're going to be extending him right now, unless 3 years at 8.125. But when you go there, does he actually want that? Or yes, okay, so we could give the extension to Fyodorov right now. Because the episode is ending now, I won't bother sending it, but I think all the AGMs will agree. Let's send this right here, right now. 3 years at 7.85 in Fyodorov. We have 15.425. So doing this contract would leave us with 7.575 million. Is that enough for Max Aho? Probably not quite. But then, you know, if we needed to move out Jacob Bernard Docker and his 2.2 million, we could do that. If we needed to move out Ferraro and his 3.25, we could do that. So I think we should be A-okay, even considering the big money we just forked out to Lane Hudson. Now, closing off the episode by looking at the trade blocks around the NHL. I don't think there's anything to really say, but just to keep in mind, especially moving into the halfway point, etc., whatever it might be. Kovacevic in Anaheim. Wow, Charlie McAvoy in Boston. Same for Geeky, Lowry, Uyghur. Sheesh. Everyone on the block in Boston. Buffalo, Calgary, Carolina, Chicago, Jersey, Vlasic, okay. Colorado, Columbus, Fiala, who they just signed. There you go. Fiala, Vrankov, Drouin, Olivier, Dallas, Edmonton, Florida. I wonder about Carlson's overall, by the way. Los Angeles, Minnesota, Montreal, some prospects. Nashville, Lavoie, Devils, Islanders, Rangers, Patty Kane. Senators, Flyers, a lot of names, Siegenthaler, Zegras, Brink, Moore, and Ghost. Penguins, Malkin, Mantha, Kadri, etc. Sharks, Leeson, Kraken, Dunn as always, Holmstrom, Montour, etc. Blues, Colangelo, Lightning, Maple Leafs, Utah, some good young players. Vancouver, Schwartz, Vegas, Washington, Winnipeg, nobody. So over in Utah, just to quickly get a little peek here, John Carlson still 90 overall. That's fine. I hope they get value out of him. They traded a first-round pick, so I hope they get value. But I wonder how his season will go. It would have been great to hang on to him, but with Vico in the system, with Petrov in the system, with a chance at Lane Hudson, it's hard to not do that. And again, take a big bite out of a division rival in the Montreal Canadiens, who are still considered buyers. They have $9.5 million in cap space. Did they spend it on Fowler? Yes, they did. That cost them $11.09. So they decided to keep their starting goalie and let go of Lane Hudson. I guess it makes sense if it comes down to those two. They have Dobson, Reinbacher has grown, they have Gouli, they have... Yeah, so the defense here in Montreal, not that they could say, okay, Lane Hudson is excess, but they can survive without him. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. They have Carrier as an 82 overall 7th D, and then they have 3 guys who are 80, 81 overall, who are 8, 9, 10, etc. So the Canadiens, I think it makes sense realism-wise, as crazy as it is to see. If there's any bit of realism in it, I think it makes sense. So we'll end off there, ladies and gentlemen. What an off-season. And a great place to stop for the holiday break. This was the last uploaded episode. Unless something really happens, but I think this is the last one of 2025. We'll get the post out to say the year that was, the recap numbers and everything. But another thank you for a great year that has been, and a year that changed my life, getting married, moving into our house as well with my wife. It was a bit of a slow, it was still a big year in terms of content on the channel, but a little slower than usual, which meant the growth slowed down a little bit, which is fine, all things considered. And now we have big plans for 2026, getting closer to 10,000 subscribers. So leave a like if you haven't already, subscribe, hit that bell. We're live 3 times a week. Of course, holiday break coming in, but NHL 26, HLM 26, MLB The Show 25. And if you're in the Discord server, by the way, make sure we're doing a World Junior Championship Challenge. It's being run by Hobbsy, and here's the information for you on the screen. You can see all this in the announcements tab in the Discord server. The WJC pool is an annual thing. I won it last year. Let's see if anybody can come and take my throne this year. So if you're in the Discord server, react with the emoji and join that opportunity. But I just gotta stop talking, so I'll leave you off there. Leave me your thoughts in the comments or in the Discord server about the acquisition of Lane the Train Hudson, as well as the rest of the off season. What do you think about the moves, the draft, and everything in between? Speaking of the draft, here are our unsigned players. Lapointe, 75 overall already, 17 years old, 6th round pick. The guy's up to a 75 overall. This is crazy. Can't wait to see his storyline. Potential Data 72 Hall of Famer someday? I wonder. Thanks again for watching. A very Merry Christmas and Happy Holiday season to everyone. All the very best in health and happiness into 2026. And I look forward to seeing you in the new year when we begin year number 5 with the Red Wings for the 2029-30 season.